So welcome everybody. This is Rick Price, Executive Director of Pittsburgh Region Clean Cities. Today we have our medium and heavy duty truck workshop series. This is our third series of medium and heavy duty trucks. And today we have Bollinger Motors, who's also going to be speaking. Just to start off, we're going to have a little brief overview for those of you who do not know EPAC and PRCC and what's going on. So Tony, you want to go from there?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody. Like Rick said, this is our third in a series of medium and heavy duty electric truck workshops. So we're just trying to expose everybody to what's going to be available within the next couple, next months, or what is available now. So we just wanted to go over a little bit about our program. For those of you that are new, I know this might be old information for people that know us already, but we just like to do this so you understand where we come from. Back to you, Rick.
So a little bit about the Clean Cities program. So like Tony said, we are educational organizations by nature, and we work on all alternative fuels. Today happens to be on electric, but some of the things that we do, we have a large access to a database of information and studies. We have technical assistance. Naturally, we do training and outreach, which part of this here, and we try to lead our members and stakeholders to possible funding that goes throughout both the state and the federal government. And our Clean Cities organizations, our two organizations are part of over 75 Clean Cities organizations that are part of the EERE Vehicle Technology Office. And here's a map here of a new updated map of May of 2023 of all the different locations of the Clean Cities organizations. So we do have a network to be able to assist and help promote what our mission and the reduction in petroleum-based and greenhouse gases. Just a little bit, as I said, Tony at EPAC and here at PRCC, this is kind of our divide of the state. I cover the 33 on the western side, Tony, the 34 on the east, but please, we work across all of these areas, across the region, across the nation, and we are partners on many, many different projects. Tony, you want to talk a little bit about the projects and stuff like that?
Of course. Yeah, thanks, Rick. Yeah, so like Rick said, we are part of a national network, the Department of Energy's Clean Cities program, founded in 1993. So this is our 30th year as a Clean Cities program in general. And then it is EPAC's 30th year. We were one of the first Clean Cities that started way back in 1993. Rick's is a little bit younger. I think he started in 1995. So, but we've been doing this stuff before it was cool, before green was even a term, trying to get fleets to convert over to alternative fuels, to gasoline and diesel. If you look at these green tags on the bottom, those are the technologies that we support as Clean Cities to displace petroleum. We have electricity. That's what we're here today to talk about. But we also do a lot of propane, natural gas projects. And then we support biofuels, ethanol, and biodiesel. And then obviously hydrogen fuel cells is in our wheelhouse too, and that's up and coming. So stay tuned for a lot of information on that. As a Clean Cities, we are both Rick's organization and ours have some of the same members, some not. Composed of public and private companies. We work with a lot of state. We work with all the state agencies, PennDOT, DCNR, DEP, that fund a lot of the alternative fuel programs in Pennsylvania. And then we work closely with our utilities and a lot of municipalities. What we're good at and what we do, because we both are 501c3 nonprofits, we do a lot of grant writing, help with incentives, vouchers, and rebates. Between the two coalitions, since I started, I've been here for 14 years, and Rick, you're about the same, right?
Yes.
14 years. We've received over $35 million for our stakeholders, and projects valued over 120 million. That's in the state of Pennsylvania. The good thing that we provide is that we are part of the the Department of Energy's Clean Cities program, which has a lot of the national labs that we have daily contact with. So we can talk to NREL, Argonne, a lot of the national labs for technical assistance. We also have a technical response team. So if you had a question about any of these technologies, we usually within a day can get you a 10-page dissertation on the question or some issue that you're having and get you some technical response. We also do project management. Like I said, since I've been started, we've probably been involved in over 50 or 60 projects, and Rick probably the same. So we do a lot of project management. And then of course, why we're here today, education outreach is a big part of what we do. We're both 501c3 nonprofits. We don't sell fuel, we don't sell vehicles, we don't build stations, we don't do any of that. But what we're really good at is putting this stuff together. Go ahead, Rick.
So one of the projects that Tony and I have been working on for the past, well, it's probably been about 8 years, but in 3 years is called Drive EVs in the USA. And one of those tasks under that thing where we were able to fund the Drive Electric Pennsylvania website. So the two Clean Cities organizations own this website, but we coordinate it with our stakeholders, members, the state agencies that Tony mentioned. It's an educational thing. It's an evolving thing. And then we kind of use that. So that gives us another platform to promote electric vehicles and electric projects throughout the state and the nation. So we were very fortunate in doing this. So please, if the link is there, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can reach out to Tony and I. Just a little bit about some of the vehicle projects we were on with 4 other Clean Cities organizations on a federal highway planning grant that went across I-80 from New Jersey to Iowa, identifying gaps for natural gas and electric along the corridor. Not only did we do this, but we also looked at all of the interstates and found the gaps for electric and propane and other things. And we've helped the state submit or recommend what to submit for the alternative fuel corridors. So that's where you're seeing the thing. And just this week, our NEVI, which our state agency is receiving $171.5 million. They've already got the first 2 years, and they just announced on, I believe it was Tuesday, the first round winners of those gaps that are across on electric vehicle charging every 50 miles. So that was really good. I think there were 54 different locations. I believe there were somewhere in that area. So you're going to start seeing these changes very quickly, and that which makes this very important today in what we're doing. So this is our contact information for Tony and I. If you have any questions, anything at all, like about either today, electric, or any of these fuels, please reach out to us, and we'll be able to get you some of that. Tony, I'm going to make you the host, and you can go ahead and run that video for us.
All right, let's see if we can do this. Share screen. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's try this again. Share screen. There we go. Okay. You hear it?
Yes.
There you go.
In 2015, with a handful of off-road savvy engineers, Robert Bollinger put his dream into motion, designing and building the first ever Class 3 electric sport utility truck in existence, the Bollinger B1. With a timeless, flat-paneled utilitarian appearance, the B1 boasted never-before-seen features such as 15-inch ground clearance, 10-inch wheel travel, patented pass-through allowing 13-foot storage, and more. Designed and built from the ground up, the dual-motor all-electric drivetrain with portal gear hubs was the first of its kind. Even the battery pack was designed in-house to meet the specific needs of an off-road capable Class 3 truck. The 2017 debut was quickly followed with a ton of press and nearly 50,000 reservations within a few months. Next, the team pounded the B1 in Colorado and Utah to test its capabilities on some of the toughest trails in the world, and it cleaned up well for the LA Auto Show. In 2018, Bollinger Motors moved to Detroit to grow the team, be closer to the automotive industry, and further the development of the B1. By 2019, they had designed and built the second-generation trucks, the 4-door B1 SUV and the 4-door B2 pickup truck. The team continued to develop their own batteries, creating a more powerful and efficient second-generation pack. Months and months of testing followed. The new prototypes strengthened the unstoppability of Bollinger Motors. Every component, every material, and every wire was refined as they moved closer to production. After 6 years developing battery packs, drivetrains, thermal and control software, the commercial industry took notice. In early 2022, Bollinger Motors pivoted directions to focus on the commercial truck industry, developing their Class 4 through 6 electric chassis cabs. The years of research and development in the off-road EV truck space put them ahead of the game as their battery and drivetrain technology adapted to their fleet applications. In early 2023, the first Bollinger B4 prototypes were driven and tested, paving the way for production vehicles being available in mid to late 2024.
Okay. So at this time, we'll go ahead and introduce Steve Sage, who's the manager for outreach, I guess it is, or sales, right? Is it not, Steve?
Yes, I'm the national accounts manager.
Okay. Tony, do you want to give Steve the reins for the slides, or you want to run them?
Tony's on mute.
Yeah.
Can you share your screen now, Steve?
Can't see anything. Did you give me hosting?
No, Tony, he's still the host, or you're still the host.
All right.
I can reclaim it, Tony. Hold on.
Yeah, reclaim it. Yeah.
All right, I reclaimed it. Steve, I'm going to make you the host.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Where is it? Okay, hang on just a second. Gotta find it.
Okay, if not, I can run it.
Hang on. I should have it now. All right, is it sharing now? No.
No, not yet.
Okay. I do not know why it's not coming up.
All right, let me reclaim it. I'll bring it
Okay.
up. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see here. Where are we here?
Oh, I got it now. Actually,
You got it?
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me
know if you see it.
Yep. Are you the host?
I'm the host.
Okay, go ahead.
Very good. Well, good morning and thank you to the PRCC and EPAC for having us here today. To give you a little bit of insight, we saw some of the history of the company, and now we'd like to tell you about what the future holds, the very near future. So as mentioned, the company started in 2015 in upstate New York, building those first two vehicles. Obviously, access to the automotive supply chain and engineering resources are not as robust in Hobart, New York. So we moved to Detroit. And then it was in 2021 and then 2022 when the Inflation Reduction Act was passed. Our company literally pivoted overnight. I was here and we put the SUV and pickup truck on hold and are solely devoted to commercial vehicles in the class 4 through class 6 space. The first offering we'll bring to market will be a class 4 cab and chassis. It'll come in one configuration, 158-inch wheelbase, 136 cab to axle, GVWR rating of 15,995, and a little over 7,000 pounds of payload available. All these vehicles will come with 2 battery packs, and that will deliver a range of 185 miles. On a level 2 charge, it's just under 5 hours. And then on a level 3 charge, the fast charge, it's a little over 1 hour. The next product we will bring to market, and I'll take you through some production milestones here a little later in the presentation, will be a class 5, GVW of 19.5 and payload of 11.3. Same 2 battery pack configurations, so the charging times are the same. But the range is a little less, 160 miles, due to the increased weight. So we chose to do a low cab forward configuration for 3 reasons. First, obviously, the additional cargo space that can be applied to the application on the back. Secondly, the increased forward visibility that we're going to couple with a backup camera and backup alarm, so that we think will generate driver confidence in these vehicles. And the third reason is the very impressive turning circle for both urban and suburban application on these vehicles. Only a 44-foot turning circle on the class 4 vehicle. The class 5 with the additional increase in wheelbase will have a 48-foot turning circle. This is a good shot, an aerial view that gets to the heart of why we're bringing this vehicle to market. You may not notice, but everything is inside the frame rails. Our frame rails are 40 inches wide, and that is intentional. It is larger than the industry standard of 34. But we did it to protect all the componentry, but then also to complete a all flat and clean rail system. And we did that because during the development of the vehicle, we went to every bodybuilder and said, all right, here's our CAD drawings. Can you put applications on the back of it? Because we wanted to make sure if we were going to do the increased width of the frame, that it would be sustainable then for them. Every one of them came back with very positive results. So we can get anything on the back of this vehicle. In fact, you'll notice a bucket application there. We are already working with one of the major, the major provider of that application, and we should have that out for demo by the end of the year or the start of next year. We chose Roush here locally as our manufacturing partner. They are literally 15 miles from our headquarters. They're renowned with their work with the major OEMs here. They're the company that converts the Ford vehicles into the Raptor versions, et cetera. They're heavily involved in racing as well. Our second supplier, also local, ONE, Our Next Energy, is our battery provider. So where you saw that the company itself developed its own batteries on the SUV and pickup, we have now converted our battery needs and requirements to this company. They are completing a 1.6 billion federally funded manufacturing facility right outside of the Detroit airport. They also use a different battery chemistry than some of the other battery makers. It's a lithium iron phosphate, so it's much more sustainable in that there's no nickel, no cobalt, it doesn't catch on fire, etc. And they've also given us assurances that you can charge this battery from 0 to 100 on 3,000 cycles. So with that confidence, we chose to warrant the battery for 8 years and 100,000 miles. This company as well is only 25 miles from our headquarters. Two other local or U.S. partners as well. Dana provides our e-axle. They are basically the founders of the e-axle application, and the one that we're going to put into our vehicle is rated for a Class 6 vehicle, but we're going to put it in every version, the Class 4 and Class 5. Produces 323 horsepower and 675 foot-pounds of torque. So with that torque level, we had to go to Goodyear and say, okay, we need a electric vehicle commercial tire to support this torque rating. So they came back to us with one with a different tread pattern that will absorb the torque, as well as they strengthen the sidewalls to handle all that increased weight that'll be on the back of the vehicle. So this gives you a really good snapshot of our major suppliers within our supply chain and the confidence we have of maintaining production. We mentioned the Inflation Reduction Act. This provides on every one of our vehicles, 30% of the vehicle purchase price up to $40,000 as a tax credit on every purchase. This is a quick snapshot of where we feel we're positioned in the market from both a startup brand as well as legacy brands. Obviously, there are some entries already out there on the Class 5 and Class 6 space, but we think we will be the first in the Class 4 electric commercial truck. Our production is basically going to flow with each of the models over the 2024 to 2026 calendar years. And I'll show you a little bit more detail to that. So we're currently in the design validation build right now. And we're upfitting all of those vehicles. We're building 25 of those. So those will be continued testing, but those will also be out on customer drive experience events. And by the end of this year, we'll start building what we call process validation. Those vehicles I could actually certify, put VIN plates on, offer for demo programs with certain customers. We'll go into start of production in April. And at the same time, off the same line, due to the commonality of parts, we'll be able to start building the design validation on the Class 5 vehicle. It will then follow the same cadence. We'll go quickly within a few months into process validation, and then start of production for the B5 will be the start of 2025. And then you can see the progression as we move into the Class 6 truck. All right, so one of the customer events that is upcoming, in case anyone in the membership there is able to attend, we rented out what's called M City on the campus of University of Michigan. And it was built for autonomous vehicle testing. So we rented out this test track that have both highway and urban city driving experience. And of the 2 weeks, we do have 4 days left where we still have some reservations available to drive. We'll have 5 upfitted vehicles out there with different box truck, service body, stake bed, flatbed, and you can drive them all. But if anyone is interested, I'd ask you to reach out to any one of us here. I've provided our contact information for the commercial sales team. So you can reach out to any one of us and we'll be able to get you slotted in to the M-City event. If you're unable to make it over to Ann Arbor, we will be participating in the Odyssey Day celebration there at the Allegheny County Community College in October. I think it's October 6th. Is that right, Rick?
That's correct. It's October 6th.
Right.
And Steve, that'll be the class 4, right?
Correct. We'll be bringing the B4. Correct.
It's really interesting because I need to reach out to it gives me a better understanding of what's going on too, because we have I have a question, I think, real quickly. As part of reaching out to these demo customers and that, are you looking, or do you already have them lined up? Or are you looking for some people to participate in that?
We do not have them lined up yet.
Okay.
We have
I may have some folks. You may be talking to some folks when you get here too, as well.
I think the only ones we have lined up here are like our utilities here, consumers and DTE and the city of Detroit.
Okay.
That's about it.
Good, because we have some folks who had some class 6 trucks.
Okay.
And they were on lease and they don't make them anymore and they're looking to do it. Then we also have another group that's looking for like a utility boom electric truck as well. So
yeah,
as I think as this gets put out, Odyssey Day comes in, I think you're gonna find out at this area in Pennsylvania in general. I know Tony has a lot on his side of the state. I mean, this is just a series of what's going on because it's coming, and we're really pushing the medium heavy duty side. And there's we have a pretty good program going on here in Pennsylvania, I believe.
Rick, this is Tony and Steve. I'm looking at the chat. It looks like there's a question for you, Steve.
Okay.
Is there any thoughts about rural applications and testing in rural environments? Because I know a lot of the bipartisan infrastructure law and a lot of that is talking about funding some of the rural applications. So maybe
absolutely, we would consider that. So any recommendations you can send our way, we would definitely consider it.
This is a personal question, but when do you think you would have demos available? Because obviously there's a lot of skepticism in the heavy duty space for electric trucks about if they can handle the load or the duty cycle. Is there any, do you have any, is your crystal ball saying that you're going to have, a couple trucks on the East Coast? Obviously, you're probably going to go to the West Coast. So is there any, do you foresee anything that when somebody says, hey, I want to try this out, when you'll have a demo available for use?
I'm going to say by February of 2024, I would have demo vehicles.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, it would. I know we've had some off-road electrical vehicles such as the yard jockeys and things like that going on. So I'm anticipating that's something that you can target Pennsylvania. I would say with Tony and our help, we could probably rotate it around in Pennsylvania probably for a month or two, right, Tony? I mean, we have a lot of folks that are interested in that. And if you're looking to get, I mean, I know you'll have to get all the arrangements and everything set up, but I think that there's a lot of interest in there. Tony and I both work with the utility, work with the state. So I think there's probably a lot of opportunities here in Pennsylvania.
Great.
Yeah. I got another question for you.
Sure.
You didn't speak too much on the batteries. So is this a DC fast only application, level 2?
No, it's both. So let me go back to it. So on
How
level
about the
2,
connector, Steve?
So
what are you using on your DC fast? Is it CCS?
Right now it's CCS, but we're going to have the universal one available as well. I mean, the whole industry's going that way. Since Ford and GM announced that they're adopting Tesla, we're following suit.
Okay. And then I guess under level 2, you're using J1772 as I see here. So we might have jumped over that. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat again, and this, I don't know if this question's for you or for us. Have you ever interacted with the first responder community? LFP battery is an interesting choice. Wonder what reactions are from first responders.
We haven't actually put them on a panel to talk about it, but that's something we will definitely consider.
Yeah.
We were just impressed with obviously the safety of the chemistry, but this company O&E was the first to actually go to Tesla and say, hey, can we test our battery in your car? And they doubled the range on the Tesla. In fact, they now have a joint venture with BMW, and I think you're going to see an SUV that comes out with 600 miles of range on these same batteries that we're using in the truck.
Yeah. Again, the first responders, and that's something that Rick and I, do regularly. Is we host first responders choices, so obviously they need to stay up to date on the newest technology, battery technology. So, that's something Rick and I can, Trina, we can probably talk offline about that. That's a very good niche that somebody's got to fill, and Rick and I have been working hard across the state to get first responders, whatever.
Actually, I'm going to reach out to. We're in Oak Park, Michigan, and I'm going to reach out to our firehouse and find out.
Yeah. Does anybody have any other questions for Steve, Rick, or I? Well, maybe got their hand raised. Well, I don't have any more.
No, but I'd like to again thank Steve, Bollinger Motors. If we will get the word out that it's going to be here at our Odyssey Day on October 6th here in Western PA, which is our big event, and it'll be an opportunity for folks to be able to drive it there on the CCAC campus. There and it's new to the markets, and there's a big growing market for these class vehicles. So we're excited to be partnering with Bollinger Motors, and thank you again, Steve, for that. We will post this recording and everything.
Oh, no. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Dr. Clipper just put in one. Yes, one of the test tracks we have here has hills, and we've been testing this vehicle since December last year, and yes, it performed admirably on hilly terrain.
And then of course there's the question, and I know we're not going to hold you to this, to the exact number. What's the price ranges that you have for the base model without outfitting?
We will actually announce. We are targeting somewhere to where you will get the full tax credit from the IRA. Okay. And we will announce that in mid-September at the M-City drive event. We'll announce both pricing, and we're looking at revamping some of the warranties on the major components, increasing the battery, obviously, and the e-axle.
Okay, great. Well, seeing no more questions, and we just want to thank everybody for participating today. And like Rick said, we'll have recordings on both the EPAC website, the Drive Electric Pennsylvania website, and the PRCC website. And then, as always, you can contact Rick or I or Steve now if you have any specific questions.
Right. If you guys have any questions, that's why I included this contact sheet. So any one of us, just send us an email or give us a call.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, everyone, for attending, and we'll be in touch.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.